Must be Monday. It is the NDRPG live play featuring Ken, Bill, Miller, and John. Join our Patreon. I did it that way because it rhymes. And you'll get some perks. Some people have been commenting on how I don't do this right. So I'm just going to do it right this time. Give us a coffee at Dreadlore. All lowercase letters, Mr. Interrupt. They do the music. Couchfire Media makes some art media, not necessarily for this game, but for a lot of it. Twareeblade Productions used to do things, but they stopped in 2023. I don't know where they are. This is a live play Geeky Gamer Podcast, and today we're featuring John Wilson and his game, the Linen Tapestry. So I'm stoked. Let's do this shit. I mean, stuff. Things.
Brilliant. Great, thank you very much. So, session 2. Recap. Story first started out with the death of Antonio Venier, Doge of Venice. That was over 2 weeks ago. In that time, Venice is filled with talk of who's going to be the next Doge. The heads of the numerous noble families have all put their best and brightest forward. Until everything was going to plan until halfway through the first week, there was rumors of Carlos Steno, war hero, ship captain, all-round fantastic guy. Rumors where he was going to try and put his name forward. He is you could say, the people's favorite. By the second week, his ship had arrived. Rumors were that he hadn't left the ship, but who knows what the truth is in there. And amongst all of this, we have 3 unlikely possible heroes stepping into the fray. And I will let them introduce themselves and their characters. I will start with Bill. If you want to introduce your character.
Right. My character is Matteo Galina. He's a former priest / deacon, the 4th or 5th, no, who's counting, noble son of the Galinas. And he is a bit of a fire starter, and or just gets himself into trouble. He's a lush. He fights duels that he should not fight because 1, he's not that good, and 2, he's usually not in the right. And for 10 years-ish, he was sequestered in a parish, pretty much to get him out of the limelight. He was called back into Venice by his aunt, who he found something weird about. And so now you see him. He's not in his priestly deacon robes. He's in his vest, his doublet. Pretty much looks like a Jaime Lannister with dark hair, a little bit older. He's got both hands, nowhere near as good of a swordsman. Lots of dark. And yeah.
Brilliant. Miller? Oh, muted.
Yeah, so I'm playing Marco Antonio de Medici. He came to Venice a few years ago for schooling, and he's helping his uncle establish the Medici Empire here in Venice. He's a younger guy, like 21, a little taller than average, probably 5'8", 5'9", olive skin, curly black hair, very wealthy, dresses very nice. He's obsessed with fencing. He's got a little fencing club and his buddies from school. So look, he knows he's in his coming of age moment or time period where he's having to step out into the world and bring that family name to a larger place.
Brilliant. And Ken?
I am playing a guy named Dakas Carota. He is a city guard, night watch. He keeps the peace. Sometimes he lets some things, some rules bend a little bit. Maybe it's because he doesn't really know that they're breaking the law. He sees the best in people, and it's all about hopeful guy from the mountains of Italy.
Brilliant. Okay. So, in the run-up to the current scene, the Miller's Fencing Club had some new members. 3 men, nobles of Venice, one of which is the son of one of the possible candidates for doorship. He's nicknamed Giro. Bit of a fire-starter, troublemaker. Not sure why, but they just happened upon the fencing school. They've ingratiated themselves with the young Medici. But over time, it's quite clear that their motives aren't there necessarily to learn. They have suggested that they could allow the Medici to curry favour by giving them a hand with something that they would consider dealing with some troublesome sort. In amongst this group, towards the end, in the second week, was none other than Matteo, who had reacquainted themselves with old friends from before his time working in a church in the middle of nowhere on the outskirts of Venice. So he has rejoined his old groups of troublemakers and just general living at large sort of people. So the trouble in general, or specifically, is the crew of Carlo Zeno's group, the Bureau de Mar. Giro knows where they hang out. It's obvious that he wants to cause trouble. So he's invited Matteo, his 2 cronies, Marco, as well as another notable noble by the name of Foscari. So, the 6 of them go into the pub. The tavern is known as the Scylla and Darkiridi. If Ken could bring up the map. Dun dun dun. Truly, my artistic skills know no bounds with this depiction of Venetian architecture. Is it up? Nope.
Might be.
The map. No, the map. It's on indie RPGs, and it's in GM guides, and it's the last one. The most recent one under the GM guides.
Are you talking about the tavern?
Yep, that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Brilliant.
This one.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
There you go.
That fancy artwork.
Brilliant. It was the toughest 5 minutes of my life doing that. Okay.
It looks like you went into paint and really did it up.
Paint 3D is my friend. So,
See if I can...
you've got a large table near the center to the right with 6 reddish boxes. They're chairs, by the way, just in case there's any doubt of what those squares are. They're chairs. If they've got a colour in, they're occupied. So, those 6 are you guys. Below that, there are 4 blue. They are the crew of the Bureau de Mer. They had just before slid their table out of the way. Just after Guillermo, he occupies the bottom middle chair with his back turned to the people that he's insulting. He called Carlo Zeno son of a bastard, son of a bitch, that sort of thing. Made sure everyone in the whole tavern knew who said it and what was said. Alarmed, shocked, insulted, they rose up, slid the table to the side to confront. Now, at this point, Mateo headed off towards the bar. Marco rose up, flung a glass at one of the four, and the other four people from that desk, we'll call them the nobles, they all start to stand. The last player on this scene is just entering the door, so in the bottom right-hand corner, Dalkus just opens the door, because outside he was keeping an ear in, and you could hear the change in the atmosphere. He opens the door to see Marco fling a glass, hits one of the sailors on the head, and that is where we are. Marco stood up, moving around the table, I recall. Matteo was heading towards the bar. Ken, you're in the doorway. And everyone else is getting ready for it to kick off. You can see, especially you, Matteo, is everyone in grey, those grey squares, those grey seats, they're all standing up. And as you're heading towards the bar, they're all forming kind of like a circle around you guys. Quite clear in their eyes that you've come here to cause trouble.
Where's the bar again?
The bar is the curved bit on the left-hand side. 1 second.
I see.
Yeah, you see, so like you've got the behind the bar and the doorway that leads off to another room.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got it.
Right. So this is combat. Initiative changes with action. So everyone's initiative is based on their acumen ranking. So whatever ranks you've got in acumen, plus whatever armor that you're wearing. So if you're wearing really heavy armor, slows you down. If you've got high acumen, you're going to be fairly quick. So initiatives. So amongst the sailors and the nobles, their initiative is generally 2 because they are just extras, except for Jiro, who has initiative 3. So looking at your character sheets, can you give me an idea of your character's initiatives, please?
I got a 3.
3.
Where is acumen?
Or a 6.
Acumen is the rank, not the dice pool, is one of your intellect.
Oh, I see it.
Yep. Yeah. So it's the rank, not the dice pool.
Yeah, so the rank is 3. And then I've got I have a sword that gives me a +1 initiative.
Okay, so the round after you use that sword, your initiative goes up, because at the moment you haven't drawn your weapon.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. And then Ken, what is your
3.
acumen? Your acumen was 3. Brilliant. Okay, so you guys all act with simultaneously with Jiro and one of the 4 men who comes across as the leader of the 4. So you guys, the players, I'll let you do your actions. You've got a fair idea of where you are. You can move around the table, engage if you really wanted to, kind of a quick move, or you can hold your action and see what they do.
I am moving out of this circle and doing the fish, right? Getting through, get to the bar, and I'm like, bartender, bibbidi bobbidi boobidi. I need a beer.
You get about halfway, just before the stairs, where, as I mentioned before, everyone is.
They're frozen.
Standing there. 2 men block your way, and they say, "You come here, you cause trouble. What are you doing?"
I kind of look at them and I have like this half, Let me through. I don't want anything to do with this.
Right.
Capiche? Come on.
Clenched. One of them clenches his fist and goes to swing at you.
Okay. Well, in that case,
can I
dodge?
So, Ken, you're in the far corner. So, if you imagine on here,
I'm at the door,
Matteo
right?
is
On the left.
Yeah, on the bottom right.
Oh, in the bottom right. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. The door behind the bar leads to like the cellar, that sort of area. So,
well,
yeah,
I would
so
like. Can I use my influence, my charming influence, and kind of yell out to the bar because I heard stuff going on and I just burst through the door. And I'm gonna
no, that's fine. I'll deal with
say something.
I'll deal with Matteo first, right? You still have the initiative. It's quite clear that they're going to swing for you. What are you doing?
Well, I have my rapier, although I don't have the stats for it. I got the rapier. I guess I have. Can you have a rapier and a short sword at the same time, or is that just awkward? I mean, it depends on how long the short sword.
You can, yeah. I'll allow that.
If it's like a dirk or something, if it's like literally a short sword, then I would have it. Otherwise, I just have the rapier. And a backpack with all my things, as well as a cart. I'm kidding. These guys ball up their fist. My action will be a counter action. It will be to, as he commits, I'm going to put him in front. So step out of the way, put him in front of his buddy, and push him together. That's my goal.
What is your unarmed? Do you have wrestle?
I do this all with my face.
So,
hold on. Let me. I'll look unarmed. It's 0.
Okay, right. You can dodge. You can try and punch or grab or push, and you'll just be rolling. So, I'll let you do your. So, you're kind of holding your action. You're waiting for them to respond. So, I'll let you dodge, but not have an onslaught penalty for your attack. Because normally, what happens is, if you go first, you attack, the other person defends, and when it comes to their time to act, they've already reacted or acted once, so their dice pool drops by 1. But because you had the advantage of going first and you've held off, I'll say that you don't suffer the onslaught for this. Sweet. So I'm going to roll their attack.
Cool.
What's your dodge?
All right, so my rank is 3 in agility, and I put 2 into dodge.
Okay, so your dodge is minus 20.
Okay,
which is lucky because they got 19. So guy swings for you. As you say, you were going to step to the side, misses. Now you can have your action. So you just roll your control. Or actually, it's control or brawn, depending on how you want to do it, because normally wrestling is brawn rather than just control.
I'm going to do control because I'm trying to redirect their shit. And also,
no, that's fine. Makes sense.
But you know how I roll, John. These dice.
Not as bad as me.
Nah, dude. I don't think I've gotten a single 10 ever. Yeah, nothing.
Okay. You weakly push the guy forward, but you do form a gap between him and the other guy. So the other guy will try and move around him to hit you.
Okay.
So he loses a die. Okay. Now, you don't have unarmed, so you can't block, so effectively you're out of defenses. So he does hit you for 22. So 22, it's that is a competent success, and with trauma damage, it adds +1. So you take 3 trauma. So on your fatigue counter at the bottom of the second page, mark off 3.
Okay.
How many ranks did you have in resistance?
Give me one moment. Looking at my resistance. Where the fuck is it?
Resistance is under athletics.
Athletics. I've got 3 in athletics and 1 in resistance. Okay, so yeah, 3.
So your resistance is 10, and you've taken 3 already.
So is it not times 5 or times 10?
Yeah, so you resisted. You say you had 1 rank in resistance?
Yeah, but I have 3 in athletics.
Yeah, no, you've got 1
Oh,
rank.
I see.
Yeah, it's 1 times 6. So your total. Yeah, so your total fatigue is 10. So you've taken 3. Okay. Ken, go over to you. The fight's already started. What are you saying when you hear the first punch land?
I'm gonna say stop that. Stop that. All right.
All right, okay.
It's a limey.
Night watch is coming.
You've changed.
I've got to bring the voice back.
No, I was going to say you changed your hinterlands accent quite a lot.
Yeah, no, I know. Right, stop it.
Yeah, there's no cockneys. There's no cockneys.
It turns out he's cockney.
There is so much noise in here. People can just about hear what you're saying, so it's more to do with your presence.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can roll your presence unless you want to substitute your presence dice pool for a spirit pool to really get across what you need to do. So, yeah, you can always substitute.
I have a very low presence.
Yep. So if you want to spend spirit pool, roll say something like your honor because you're on it.
Yeah.
You're on a duty to Venice.
I'm gonna say
so
Night Watch is coming. I don't know why I can't get away from the British accent. It's done.
Okay.
Well, you were a Gomer pile, so you're like,
no, I'm trying to get
he's got the bearded.
Like
Well,
a country accent is hard, and I it's when you're in it,
Just do Lieutenant Dan.
Thank you very much.
There
Night
you
Watch
go.
is coming. Night Watch is coming. You better stop it.
Okay, use a spirit point. Roll your 8 dice for honor.
Mm-hmm.
And
He substitutes spirit and goes full country.
yes,
You
Good.
said 8 dice.
yes. Keep how many dice you've got in influence.
Mm-hmm. Influence is 3.
Okay, so keep 3. So roll your 8. Keep 3. And then add whatever your. Now, it's not charm. You're not charming these people. This is authority. Do you have any bonus in authority?
Authority? I don't know if I have any influence in authority. Where is the authority?
Authority's just above charm.
Charm? No, I got resolve and I got charm. I don't have much authority.
So don't add anything to it. So roll your 8, keep 3. And add up. Always automatically keep 10s, ditch your 1s, and then keep 3 dice.
So roll 8 die, keep 3.
Yeah.
Well, I got 110.
Yeah. And then in addition to that 10.
Yeah, I got 110. 8 die, keep 3. Oh, I didn't keep 3, so I'm gonna just. Well, that's fucked up. I got 3 10s.
Okay.
I think I did it wrong. I'll roll them again.
Yeah. Roll your 8 dice.
Okay, I didn't get. I rolled 110.
Okay. So keep that. Push that 10. How many dice are you? How many physical dice do you have?
You said keep 3, so I kept.
Yeah.
The other 2.
Right. Okay. So, what's your total? So it's 10 plus 3 of the other 7 dice.
24.
24. Right. Okay. you all can just make out City Night Watch, and there were a few people in amongst the bystanders who actually stop what they were doing and move away. One of the sailors turns around to you, Ken, and looks a bit, what? Completely flustered, not sure what to do. However, everyone else in that room, the nobles and the 3 other sailors, they continue to act. Okay? Miller, it's over to you. You'd thrown a glass, got the attention of one of the sailors. He's focused all his attention and he's moving in towards you, but you have the advantage. You, by this point, because we're kind of halfway through the round, you especially notice, Miller, that not a single person has drawn a weapon. The sailors have daggers. I mean, there's a dagger on the table that they were using to eat some food. They haven't picked up any daggers, and they have weapons on them, on their body. None of the sailors have drawn a lethal weapon. Zero is drawing a weapon. But you can just see that at the corner of your eye, but your attention is focused purely on the guy who's going for you.
Okay, so I was on the other side of the table, right?
Yeah, so I had you as, going back to that map, you were top left. Oh, the map's gone. So this, you can move in to engage or hold back. It's entirely up to you.
Well, what I wanted to do is that I'll move like kind of directly opposite them on the table, put my foot up on the table and motion for my guys, like with my head, to get out of the way. And I want to try to kick this table right into the mass of sailors.
Yeah, yep. Okay, no, that's fine. So Matteo's moved away. Francesco sees what you're doing, and he'll actually help you. Because he was beside you in the middle. Giro has already turned around. He's not looking at you. He turns around, and as I said before, he's drawing a blade. The other 2 guys see what you're doing, and they step out. If you imagine, they just kind of expand from where they were and move out. Okay, so Foscari will help you. So you can retain, we'll say, 2 extra dice. So this is a brawn athletics weight, and you're flinging this table. We'll say this table is quite heavy, so I'll give you -20. It is really, really heavy.
I didn't pull out enough because.
Yeah, sorry. Actually, forget about adding the brawn. I'm gonna roll for Scary, and I'll add my successes to your successes. Okay, so you roll whatever's on your character sheet, so you retain whatever you've got in athletics, and I'll just roll for Scary. Which isn't very good.
Yeah, I just got a 20.
Yeah, was that after the -20?
No, that was before the -20.
Oh, right, okay. You guys, the table is lifted up slightly, and it will fall over next round, but it's not the dramatic flipping the table over in a couple of seconds. You guys have got it halfway, and it's it'll capsize next round into whoever's coming into that group, okay? Right. Next round, so this round, so you've got 4 sailors. One of the sailors is looking at Ken, confused, stepping back. The guy that you threw the glass at moves round the table, can't get to you because the table's now stood up in front of him. Giro attacks and slashes at the third noble, the third sailor. And the fourth sailor, who is at the bottom right, he's now running in to engage one of the other two nobles that was on the left-hand side of Giro. Just punching, scuffling. Next round. So, initiative for moving the table, doesn't it change anything? Your social combat, Ken, doesn't change anything, and you didn't draw your weapon, you tried to push summon Bill, so your initiative stays the same. So again, you guys go first. This time I think I'll go for Miller. What are you doing? Table is now tipping forward. Giro's moved out of the way. Oscari whispers to you, says, get that guy in front and I'll make sure it'll tips in his direction. Because both of you can see that one of the sailors is going for you directly.
Right. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and circle a little bit and throw a jab at him to kind of back him up right into the target area.
No problem. Okay. He'll try and dodge. -10. So whatever you have in your tally, take 10 off.
So is that brawn? I have no unarmed at all.
You've got no unarmed, right? Okay.
Yeah.
You could pick up a chair. There is a chair next to you.
That sounds like a better idea. I'll pick up a chair, kind of swing it at him.
Yep. Okay. So you pick up a chair. Because, ironically, he was doing the same. You see him moving for the chair just to the left of you. So you can step back, grab the chair just behind and to your right. Okay.
Yeah.
You go first. There's no expertise in chairs, so you're not adding anything to it. Do you have any bashing? Do you have an expertise in bashing?
No, that's under unarmed, right?
No, bashing is melee, i.e. hitting people with a club.
Oh, there we go. Bashing, yeah, no, I didn't put anything into bashing.
Okay, no, that's fine. It's not your style as a fencer.
Right. Let's see, I got 17 total.
17. Okay. I'm going to give you a +5 because of the one for using the scenery, and 2 moving yourself in a situation to get the chair. So you do manage to hit with a partial success. So what's your speed?
3.
Chair probably 3, so that's 6. He's got no armor. You clang him right in the shoulder with the chair. One of the legs snaps off as you swing the chair straight into his side, and he falters. He stumbles onto the chair that he was grabbing, and he comes around and goes to swing you. So he's got one less dice because he's already reacted. And are you dodging? Or do you want to parry with the chair? It's up to you.
Yeah, I want to parry with the chair.
Okay. Right, okay. So, I'll give you +5 for the chair. What's your base parry?
30.
30.
Yeah.
You said,
I've got,
right.
Yeah, three ranks.
Yeah, you clearly knock the chair out of his hands and onto the floor.
Fantastic.
Okay. Ken, it's getting noisier and noisier.
Sure.
And as more people are fighting, you can see a lot of the people that you'd managed to placate, subdue verbally, they're considering their options. You do also notice that one of the nobles is actually drawn a weapon. Now, you as Night Guard know that there are a couple of rules that you don't do. One, you never draw a blade on a noble, because if you dare injure a noble, like seriously injure a noble, you'll have an entire family against you, and you will have no rights. You will be arrested and you'll be locked up, beaten, and so forth. And at the same time, as far as you're concerned, and as far as probably everyone in this tavern will be concerned, if they're not allowed to draw a weapon, everyone else isn't allowed. So Giro drawing a weapon, or this noble, is the height of bad manners in bar brawls.
Right. Well, my first order of business is to look around to see who's in the tavern, and the people closest to me that heard me. I am going to try to get them out the door. So I'm going to wedge the door open and say, come on, get out.
Yep. So there's one person from the right-hand side. They dash down, get behind you, get out. One of the people on the left, they haven't quite reached you, because they're walking right past at least two of the sailors.
Yeah.
But they're heading out.
The sailors are in blue, correct?
Yeah, and they've moved slightly forward. One of the top left one has moved round, and they're left of the round table that the nobles are at,
right.
If you can visualize that. The other three are roughly in the same area, and
So,
they are fighting.
It's my intention to get the people that aren't in danger of, like, they're not fighters, they're not,
Everyone in this bar are fighters.
Oh, they're all fighters. Okay, well, I mean, to get anybody who looks scared is like...
No one looks scared.
Nobody looks scared.
No.
All right,
No.
well, then, it looks like the sailors are outnumbered by about two people, and they're closest to the door. And Carlo, Zeno, boat people, you guys need to get out of here. I think you're in trouble.
Okay. One of the guys turns around and says to you, "No shit. They've insulted Carlo." No one insults Carlo. And at that point, he turns around and smacks one of the nobles square in the face. And they are fully at it.
Right.
Matteo, what is Matteo doing?
Matteo looks scared. No, I'm kidding.
Never.
Right. So as he's pushed this guy back and gotten, socked in the face, it's happened before. He'll spin with it, and he scans the room real quick. Is there like a broom or any kind of thing other than a chair that he could use as a weapon?
There's a couple of wooden tankards, because you're just at the bar. So you see where the stairs meets the bar. It's like there's a wall that leads down from the stairs, and then when it turns to the right or the left, so to speak, that's the bar. And there are like big wooden tankards on there, stools, but nothing like a broom. Everything like that would be kept in the cellar behind that door, behind the bar.
Okay, well, I'll take a chair, put it in front of me, use my heel to break off one of the legs. As I pick up the leg, and I'm like, now, I will teach you a lesson. I whittle it down to a bouquet.
Okay, so picking up a chair and then breaking
What? Sorry.
So picking up a chair and then breaking a leg off is effectively drawing a weapon, so to speak. So as you're doing that...
That's what I do.
I want to have an action, because that is your full action, picking up a chair, and then, these are tough, sturdy bits of furniture. Prizing off one of the legs. I will let you, though, say something, because there's now 3 people around you. You're one of the nobles.
Oh, I love it.
You nobles are not like...
As I put this chair out, and I'm like, kadoom! And it doesn't break. I'm like, shit. Kadoom! And I break the shit. And I say, as I see the three guys, another one approach, I'm like, the Lord bless you and keep you. I start, the Lord have his face shine upon you.
Could I have an interaction, guile, distract? Yeah, this is just merely confusion, because what you've just described there doesn't normally happen in this tavern. So.
Okay, I don't have distract. I do have
Doesn't matter.
deceive, and I have savvy.
No, it's distract. Because what you're saying is so.
I have 2 ranks in guile, but I don't have anything in distract.
No, that's fine. You're just not adding anything to the tally. So roll your interaction, keep your guile. And because you have deliberately roleplayed it going badly for you, I will give you a 10.
Okay. So it's 4 dice, and I keep 2.
Yeah.
All right. And of course, I have. So that's an 8, 4. It's 8. So I keep the 2 8s. So 16, and then a 10. So 26.
26. Okay. That leaves you. The reflection is 10. You keep 16. So outcome of 1. Of the 3 people that were going to punch you, one of them reacts to you talking like a priest.
Huh.
So, what? The other one just starts laughing at you, mocking you. But the third one doesn't see the funny side and goes to smack you. Okay.
What is the resistance tally? What is that?
Resistance is the defense underneath athletics.
I see. I got it.
Yep.
Well, okay.
Okay. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I see. Okay.
He's going to hit you. Are you dodging? Or you can parry with. You can now parry.
Yeah, I'll parry since I've got a stick. I have 2 parry.
That's minus 20.
Okay.
Yep. He goes to punch you. You parry. The leg of the. I keep saying arm. The leg of the chair whacks him right in the forearm, and you can feel the sting as his hand like trembles with the.
Can I have a board with a nail in it?
No, you can't have a board. Yeah, there's just a selection of nails and hammers.
No, it's it's a chair like.
Yeah, you've defended yourself. That's fine. The table now drops down, hits one of the sailors. Jiro is now has grabbed one of the sailors. So one sailor was subdued. One sailor told Ken pretty much to fuck off because yes, we know we're in trouble. One guy's been hit by the table and is now kind of trying to lift the table off himself. And the fourth one has been grabbed by Roberto Steno. He's been grappled, whilst Jiro has drawn his blade and is holding the blade to the guy's throat and looks though he's just about to run that blade across his throat. You think he's saying something, but you can't quite make out what. For Scary, he, ironically, with the table being right up, everyone on the north side of the table can't see what's happening south of the table. So all that Fosori can see is the guy that's attacking you. He then moves in to punch the guy that's attacking you, Miller. He doesn't bother with a chair. All poorly. Yep. Guy can't dodge. He takes another 3 points of fatigue. So that knocks him down. 11. Okay. Next round. Ken, I'll start with you. You can see one sailor trying to hold up a chair, holding up a table from him. The guy that you subdued now sees that his crew member is being held and a blade held to his throat, and he dashes towards the rescue of his companion. And he shoulder barges Jiro off to one side. Jiro still keeps hold of the blade, but they stumble into the table and the crowd that's on the table up against the right-hand wall. What are you doing?
Is Marco Antonio, is he engaged?
Marco's on the other side of the big table that's been tipped over.
So and where is Carlo Zeno's guy? Roberto, is he on the other side?
So the two of them are off towards the right-hand side near the table.
Mm-hmm.
The table up against the wall on the right-hand side. So there's two over there. One is to the bottom left of the table, and he's holding up a table.
Right.
And the fourth sailor is being attacked by Foscari and Marco.
Right.
You can see further on that Matteo, another noble. You're not sure. I think you've seen him before, but surely he was a priest. Surely it can't be the same guy.
Yeah.
But he's been surrounded by three men who they look like they have the clear advantage on who are Matteo.
So I mean, so it seems like he's the most in trouble of these guys.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Right.
You can
so,
also. Oh,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I kind of want to draw. What is there a table that I could pick up and kind of run in between them or something, like a battering ram? like
one of the small.
Part the seas a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. The table that is not occupied, bottom left of the noble's table, you could run past that, pick it up, and then head towards them.
Run like kind of northwest.
Yeah. Okay. You run. You hoist it up. This table's not as heavy as the big round table, so I'll let you do a brawn, athletics, weights roll, and I will say, so you're running. I'm going to say there's an onslaught penalty, so you roll one less die on your brawn because you're doing two actions here. Pick up you're lifting up the table as you're running. It's probably half the weight of the large table, so it's -10 to what you roll to your tally.
All right, so I have a weights of 1, so that's +10, right? Or
weights of
do
1,
I keep
add
3 die?
+5. Yeah, so your brawn is 8 -1, so roll 7 dice.
Okay, so 7 dice.
Yeah.
I'm just fixing up my character sheet. That's 3 10s with the 7.
All right. Okay. So you've rolled 3 10s. What did you get on the other 4?
Total of the other 4?
Yeah, because you need to add up your total tally.
Okay, so that's an additional 23. So that's 50.
Right. Okay. Yeah. 53. Take off 10, so it's 40. That is an outstanding success. Right, you pick up the table and you are almost at the group because you've had to cover like over half the distance of the room.
Sure. Right.
Remind me that you got an outstanding success. That will give you a bonus for your next action next round. Okay. What you all notice is that there's 2 or 3 avant-gardes, bouncers, so to speak, coming down the stairs. One guy's coming in, and everything. The tempo changes. A lot of the locals now step back from the combat. Soon as one of the bouncers get downstairs, he sees someone who looks like they're in combat, and he just picks up. He has like a truncheon club, and just clobbers one of the guys, knocks him down to the ground. These guys are not messing. So, Matteo, what are you doing? There's 3 of you. However, you now have a club in hand.
There's three dudes in front of me.
Yep.
Yeah, I hit them all.
So, you've only got 1 attack.
Okay.
Which one are you going for?
The one who's already injured.
Okay.
I smack him in the head. Or
No
attempt
problem.
to. Oh, God. Why do I keep on putting up my dice? Because I'm stupid! Alright, so I need to do... melee. So I have slashing. This is not slashing.
No.
I have melee 3. I don't have any bashing or any of that bullshit.
Nope.
So
What is your control?
my control is 6.
So roll your 6 die, keep
Yep.
3.
You keep 3. Awesome.
Yeah, and hope for 10s. Always hope for 10s.
Right. Maybe
Yeah.
I should get some other dice. Yeah, I need some other dice. Jesus, so I got a 10. Alright, so that's basically like just an extra die when you get a 10.
Keep,
right?
yeah, you automatically keep that 10. So
You
what else
automatically
that you?
keep it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So it's 5. So I've rolled 15 and then plus the 10.
Yeah.
And that's
so
6 dice. Right.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So 20,
right.
25.
He looks distracted. He looks over your shoulder at something running towards them. You have no idea
30,
what they're looking
30. My
at.
bad.
You got 30. Okay.
30.
Right. Add your speed plus 3 from the club, so that's 6. Plus, let's have a look.
So my speed is rank 3.
Yeah. So club is 3. Sorry. Yeah. Club is 3 plus your speed. I'm just going to check something for the outcome because you got 3. You got an outcome of 3.
Yeah. Turns out he finds the nail.
There it is. There it is. Right. Okay, and you add 2. So you hit him for 8. He is dazed. You can see his head kind of swing to the side, and he drops down. He's not out, but he drops down to his knee. Okay.
My child. Ophelia. I don't know, Mifilo.
Of the 2 other guys,
Man.
one of them is stepping back.
Good. It just whacked his friend in the face with a chair leg. Yeah,
Exactly.
I would step back too.
The other guy, though, is going to whack
Oh.
you.
Good. What's he
Oh.
whacking me with?
His fist.
Okay. I'm gonna parry it.
Are you okay? Right. Your parry was your parry 20?
Yeah, 20.
Yep. Okay. Again, same thing. It was a poor punch in the first place. By the time you've whacked him, he is stepping away, holding his forearm.
I do a
Mash.
flourish with the chair leg that looks very clunky.
Matteo, what are you doing?
Matteo does the flourish.
Sorry, not Marco. Sorry, Marco.
Sorry.
Okay, so how far away are these new guards that just showed up?
So you are still roughly. So you got the round table with the nobles. You were the top left red square. That's effectively you, and right next to you is Foscari. Directly in front of you, to the bottom left, just of where you are, is the other sailor. Left from there, at the base of the stairs, that's where two of them are. One of them has already taken out someone who hadn't even got involved with the fight yet. The other guy has turned and is not focused on you, but they're focused on the other guy at that table, left of where you are.
Okay. Yeah, as long as they have time to act before they start trying.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and take another round to the one that Fuscari and I have been attacking.
Yep.
I want to go ahead and hit him with the chair again, or what's left of it. I'm not trying to kill him. I just want to.
Okay.
Write him down. Oh, 2 10s. Uh, 33.
Wow. Okay. What's your speed?
3. I got 3 banks. Yeah.
3. Chair, give you 4, 7 plus 2, so that's 9 straight into him. He was already going down. You clobber him, and he just stumbles back. It does look as though he's just about to pick himself up and just take one last swing at you. But at that point, Fuscari steps to your left and just pummels straight down into his chest and lays him out flat. There's more fighting going off up against the right hand side. Okay. Next round, Ken. You're now right behind Matteo. Matteo's still engaging with 2 people who he's been doing a pretty good job keeping them at bay. You reach them. What are you doing with that table?
I was it seems like Matthew took care of, or Matteo took care of the 2 guys that he was on. He seems to be holding his own. I was just picking up the table and trying to create a divide between the 2 sects. I was putting myself in between the 2. So my goal is not really to hit. It's maybe if I do knock into somebody, it's to make everybody dazed around me, to create this just big force that goes right through the middle to like divide the.
Well, you're going so fast, you will hit people.
Yeah.
So
that's. I mean, the goal is to daze, not really to hurt.
Yeah, you're not gonna kill people.
Yeah,
you're not gonna kill anyone.
It's to like, and I'm yelling, "Night watch!" Or I don't know why I'm stuck in.
We'll stick with the Cockney. We'll stick with the American Cockney. That's
Lieutenant Dan. Lieutenant Dan.
Okay.
Thank you. It's the night watch.
That's better. So
we're coming for y'all.
roll your brawn.
Jesus.
Keep your melee.
All right.
Do you have bashing?
I do. I got a bashing.
Add your bashing.
I got a bashing or 2.
So right. So you're adding 10. Plus the 10 from effectively how well you did last round. So you're adding 20 to the tally of this roll.
All right.
So again, roll your dice. Keep how much? What's your melee? Was it 3?
Yeah, 3. I got 3 10s, and then I add.
Did you roll 3? Did you roll 3 10s again?
I did.
Bloody hell! Okay, you might kill these people at this rate then. Okay.
Oh no, that's not the goal. Well, I mean, I'm pulling my punches. It's like if I see somebody that's like hurting, I'm gonna try and Like
It's
I'm not
happening.
trying to.
It's happening in seconds, and you've got so
Yeah.
much momentum. You can't help. You're going for it. So, add up your tally.
The total is 58.
58
Or is that
plus
78?
78. Right. Okay. You've gone off the table at this point.
Sorry.
That's all right. So it's 12. Okay. You're doing 16 additional trauma in addition to 4 from the table and 4 from your speed.
I only have a speed of 2.
Speed of 2. Okay, so it's 2, 6. So you're doing 22 trauma. Both of these guys are flattened. You think they'll wake up in the morning, you're not sure. But the 2 guys that were stepping back from Matteo because they saw you coming are hurled backwards into the bar. Do you let go of the table or do you go with it?
No, I'm gonna try and stop before I hit a wall. I'm gonna not hurt the damn table. I want the table. I don't want to scratch it up. Well, any more than I already scratched it up.
Yeah. Okay, you're now at the bar, not getting a drink. Okay.
Yeah.
Miller, guy that you were fighting, he's down. He's not unconscious. He's slowly getting back up off his feet. There were 2 bouncers coming in very close. You can see to your left though that there is, again, there's only one person that's drawing a weapon. There's only one person that's drawing a blade, and he is now outnumbering one of the sailors who has remained to be unarmed. You can see that guy's got a dagger. He could easily have struck out, but these sailors, the locals, the sailors are keeping to that decorum of you don't take a blade to a bar brawl.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And I was going to address Shiro now that don't have somebody punching on me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna step over to him and kind of put my hand on his shoulder and say into his ear, "Damn blade away! You look like a coward." And I didn't know if I wanted to use intimidate, charm, or authority, but it doesn't really matter, does it? They're all the same.
You don't have anything in reason, because this would be reason, because you can't get. I'd say that as a no.
No, I didn't put anything in reason.
No, that's fine. If you've got authority, I'll let you put in authority. But I'll give you a bonus because you're insulting him as well in his head. So I'll give you plus 10.
Okay.
It plus your authority, and then roll your dice and keep your influence. So you're effectively adding 15 to the tally.
Oh. Yes, it's 24.
Okay. It's the desired result, but it kind of backfires. Because he's got the blade and he's the sailor that he's fighting has got the blade and he's got the Jiro's sword arm in his hand and he's trying to hold the blade away from having his neck slit. The moment you say that, and you say he looks like what did you say? You look like a
coward.
Yeah. As soon as you say that, he swings round and says, "No one calls me a coward," and he tries to elbow you in the face.
Okay.
You haven't acted per se, but you have. I'll give you. You can either dodge. You've got a chair leg. You can parry. You can parry, or you can dodge.
I'll just try to dodge it.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Right. Okay. Right. 23 on the roll. What's your defense? What's your dodge?
6.
So how many ranks have you got in dodge?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I never adjusted that.
No, that's fine. That sounds like you've got 2 ranks, maybe? Whatever ranks you've got in dodge, times it by 10.
Okay, yeah, so it's just 1.
This one, okay, he hits you for 1. It's a partial success, so he doesn't add anything to his damage pool, but he's gonna roll 3. So yeah, you take 3 damage to your chest. So 3 knock off 3 more fatigue from your fatigue. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he clangs you with his elbow. When he hits you, it's clear that he's come here wearing armor. It's like thick leather, but he's got clothes over it. Solid whack to the chest. The guy that he was attacking, because the blade's not up against his throat anymore, he's turned his back. He smacks Jiro from behind. Jiro can't see coming, so there's no defense against him. Miller, because you've helped this guy, I'll let you roll on this guy's behalf. So roll 5 dice.
Okay.
Add 10, and let me know.
It's a 33.
Right. Okay. No defense. He does an extra 2. That's 5. He whacks him. Like elbows him in the back. Jiro is slightly dazed by that, and he's stuck between the 2 of you at this point. You can see Foscari out of the corner of your eye moving in. The bouncer that came in after Ken a couple of rounds ago, he's now moved in, and at the beginning of the next round, Matteo and Marco can see that these 3 bouncers are not holding back. They are now going for anyone. The only person that they're not going for is Ken, is Daucus. At first they were, but then when Daucus turns round after stopping himself from clambering into the bar itself, he turns round, and you know one of these bouncers. He's former city guard, and he just looks at you and says, "Daucus, what the fuck are you doing here?" And then turns round and
this bar fight.
right. Well, he then points to one group and says, "Right, take out those sailors. We're gonna have to be gentle with the nobles, but yeah, just grab those sailors and move them towards the bar.
Yeah.
Those nobles are gonna have to go."
I already called for the guard. They're coming.
Okay, Matteo, you're 2 or 3 feet away from one of these bouncers who is just really like a metal-studded club. They're just whacking people. As soon as they're on the ground, they move on to the next one. You're next. Because you're really close. What are you doing?
The dudes that I was fighting, have they backed off and/or?
Oh, you missed that. Right. Okay. So when you were fighting them,
Daucus came through. I see.
yeah, you realized that it wasn't your prowess with a chair leg that was intimidating them to move back away from you. It was the large mountain holding a small table and ramming them all up against the bar. Yeah. I'm not sure how that would dent your ego, but you know. Okay.
I have no ego. And I'm like, max men power game and motherfucker as I sort of walk around.
You can see at least one of the nobles that you came in with blinking out of the door.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Do I see Jiro has pulled his blade?
No, you were facing the other direction. You don't know
Well, I mean,
anything
as
about
I
Jiro.
turn, do I see him out with a blade?
Yes, but he's just punched Marco.
Seeing this makes complete sense to me. Of course, he's one of those friends that will kick you in the face.
Yeah, it's now complete bedlam. There are some locals fighting other locals. It's typical Wild West.
How far away? Because my entire goal is to see if Giro is fucking up.
Oh well, yes. It's at this moment it's just bedlam. If that was his intention, he succeeded. If he wanted to prove a point, he's failed because
my aunt was like, allow him to really mess up. So I kind of want him to mess up, right?
But to what level? That's the question. Is
how
bad?
I want his family to be out of the Doge thing because he's such a catastrophe. I mean, I know I have intimate knowledge of how that rolls. So seeing his blade out and the fact that he's just punched Marco. Let's see. I don't think I have the stats to do what I want to do. Let me see. Interaction, and then attempting to persuade. How about reason? So
okay.
I'm gonna look at this bouncer. I've got the chair leg. I'll lower the chair leg. Obviously, I'm not attacking him. Is my point. Go on.
He says, "Drop it. Get out."
I will reason with him. Is it easy to get out? Like, has he created a path? So I'm not going to get attacked.
Pretty much. So if looking at the map, you're pretty much dead square in that rectangle of the map. Between you and the bottom right-hand corner, there is nothing.
Sure. I will lower it. I will lower it and start moving past them immediately. So the cop tells you to move, I move. Mm-hmm. Until I am actually safe, I'm going to keep a weapon to defend myself.
Yeah.
But my reasoning with him is I'm going to look over and basically point at Giro and say, I know that man. He's pulled a blade. He's brought shame to his family. We need to get him out of here. He's going to kill someone.
Okay. Yep. I'll let you choose between interaction or composure.
Well, they're both the same for me. I understand interaction. Composure would be the
composure is you keeping a level head and showing as I say, it's bedlam, and you're having a very reasonable conversation with someone whilst shit's kicking off.
I like that idea because my dude's off, so it's that crazy, and he's like, "Hey, look, listen, this is happening."
I'll give you an additional +5 because you're saying what the bouncer wants to happen. Okay.
Yep.
Roll your composure dice pool, keep your influence, add whatever you've got in reason, and then add an additional 5.
Okay, so my reason is 1. So
that's
influence
+5. So
3.
Right. So roll 6, keep 3, add 10.
All right. And I'll keep that. So 26, so 36.
Wow, okay. Take off 10, that's 26. Competent success, right. He then says, right, get the rest of his cronies, and then he turns to the bouncer. He taps the bouncer that was talking to Ken, who was reacquainting himself with another the city guard. Says, right, we're taking out the guy with the blade. Okay, we're going to escort him out. So at that point, those two coordinate with the third guard who's in the bottom right-hand corner. They move in. So I'm going to wrap up the scene as far as combat's concerned, because at this moment, everyone can see that the fight is now over. There's effectively 4 city guard in here, including Ken. The sailors back off. They're not holding any weapons. They move up towards the bar.
I'll drop the leg.
One of the guy they had the blade up against his throat, which effectively, Miller, you saved his life. He gives you a wink and a slight nod to you as you're heading out, and he's heading. So you're ushered to the bottom right, out the door, while this guy is moving towards the bar. And as he walks past you, he just gives you recognition of a nod, a wink, and a smile. And he taps you on the shoulder and heads off. Ken, you escort the 6... Actually, there's only 4 now, because somewhere along the lines, the 2 cronies of Jiro had vanished. And all 4 remaining nobles are ushered outside. And when you get outside, you're effectively kicked out. Jiro he kicks up a fuss, and the two of the bouncers. Ken, would you grab hold of a noble who's got a blade and doesn't want the fight to stop? Would you grab hold of him?
Yeah, I would grab. Well, if he's got a knife, I would subdue him. I would try to subdue him.
Okay. Yeah. Between you and the guards,
but
you
not with a blade or anything. Not with a table.
No, that's fine. I thought you were going to say not with the table, but nothing. So, between the 3 of you, twist his arms behind his back. His blade is ripped from his grip, and he's hoisted out. And as you and another guy is lift him off his feet and carrying him out, it turns to both of you. Your names are mud. I will have you and your families killed for this. And then you hoy him off into the street.
Well,
okay.
I best be protecting you on the way home. So I know none of these folks in here too happy seeing you. Draw a blade in their establishment. So I think you need me for your protection.
He looks at you with daggers. He hates you. He then looks to his cronies. Now, the 6 nobles move away from the tavern. Jiro is trying to sort himself out, sheaths his blade, then looks to you, Matteo, and says, "Hey, nothing like a visit to one of the ladies of the night.
I'm
a
like
good fight.
Are
you coming this time?
I'm rubbing my cheek.
Yeah, you're bleeding. Yeah, you're bleeding from.
Yeah. As I'm doing this, and I think I'm gonna go back home and see about this. Good fight, though.
Looks to you, Marco. I'll where you hit him, he rubs it and says, "I'll consider this forgotten and forgiven if you come with us." He names a brothel. Pretty seedy brothel as well. Do you go with him?
The Rusty Bottom.
No.
Yeah. Okay. He then
No.
spits. He then spits on the ground. But go on.
Yeah, I wanted to say something to him when he offered. I'll look at him and say, "I don't think so. I don't want to witness you murder a prostitute tonight."
Oh
God.
Right. At that point, his 2 cronies then have to hold him back from going for you. Foscari has remained pretty quiet through all of this. He kind of steps in between the 2 of you, glances to you, and whispers, "Well said." And then he says to Jiro, "Yeah, I think it's best that I leave as well." And then what a strange thing is that as soon as Foscari says that, Jiro seems even more insulted and says, "I'll go back to your mother's boy." And you can see a flash of anger in Foscari's face, but at that point, he turns around and he just walks off. So the Jiro and his 2 cronies head off, and you 3 remaining nobles head off towards your respective homes. Okay. That's the end of that scene.
Yeah.
Next morning.
I'm gonna help all of those.
Oh, yeah.
The type of guy that I am, I'm gonna help him clean up his bar after.
Yeah. No. They are laughing by the time. So you stay there for a little bit longer. By the end of the night, they're calling you the bull. For you just ramming people. So you're like a hero. Yeah. So even though you took out 2 people and one of them's still unconscious, you're like the hero for the night. All the sailors, they just continue drinking. One of them buys you a drink. You find it quite hard to leave, but it's entirely up to you what time you leave. Okay, that's the end of that night. It's the next morning. Today is an important day. It's an important day for Marco and Miller because you have a meeting, prearranged meeting at the government buildings, the Ducal Palace. Yes, there you go, on the left-hand side. Is that, yeah, the Ducal Palace. Yeah. So, we'll go with you, Miller. Right, you wake up. You've got a few bruises. Your uncle saw you came in late last night, but you're not his son. He says nothing, lets you settle down for the night. The next morning, one of the servants and your uncle's got breakfast prepared, and when you get up, you got food ready for you, and your uncle just grins at you, just waiting for you to say something. He's clearly filled with curiosity.
Good morning, Uncle.
Yeah. I hope the other guy looks worse than you.
Well, his pride is worse, that's for sure. Yeah, we got into a little fight. Of course, that's what Zero was looking for.
Okay. Well, the guy is trouble.
He is, yeah. And he's promised me to get you a meeting with his father.
Oh, okay.
I'm not too sure if he's going to follow through with that because I did insult him. He brought shame on his family by drawing a blade in the bar in a fist fight during the fist fight.
Oh, right.
And
okay.
So,
well,
we can follow up on that later.
Yeah. I think what your uncle says. I think weighing things up, it's probably best if we don't have that. I'd rather get an audience with his father through other means rather than his son. But yeah, it sounds like this duo is trouble. Okay. Matteo has vanished. Okay, I'll wait till they come back. So, for the rest of the day, what are you doing?
I might need your help a little bit. Should I talk to my uncle about the meeting that I'm going to have later?
It's entirely up to you. You do recall that whenever you've raised your uncle in latter conversations with Enzio, he's been more focused on you. He's not that interested in your uncle. If that's any indication of whether it should be relevant for your uncle to know.
Okay, yeah, I won't talk to him about that, but I will talk to him about how we're planning on making a school and, the fencing school. It's going to be great.
Should we get banners, some heraldry, bringing the Medici, Medici, family coat of arms, and decorate the courtyard?
Oh, I don't think we need to do that yet. Definitely something good to think about.
All right, okay.
I am, however, this is my thought. I am, however, going to attempt to secure funding for it, and I would like that funding to go through the bank, so that we can borrow that. Essentially, the school can borrow that and pay it back to the bank with interest.
I'm not sure how would you get money from the fencing club though?
Oh, we charge for classes.
Okay, it'd have to be some of who would have to be. So we'd have to focus at the most wealthy of students. Okay.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be the most exclusive fencing club in all of Europe, probably all of the world.
Okay. He ponders on that. So I'll leave it there. So Matteo, you wake up. You rub your jaw where it was bleeding. But it feels strange. You kind of lift yourself up off the bed and you sit down, looking down on the floor, wondering what on earth happened last night. And you rub your jaw, but then when you move your hand away, there's like a worm or a small snake or a leech crawling on your palm from where it seems to have dropped. Yep.
Flick that away.
You fling it away. You feel things crawling along your jaw.
Do I have a mirror?
Yeah, you'll have. It'll either be like a polished brass or like a cloudy mirror, like a glass mirror.
Go to the mirror, freaking out, pulling off my shirt, like, do the thing. Right.
There are now, as you take your undergarments off, you can see there are things slithering and writhing in your undercloth, because it's just like a one body sheet that you just pull over your head, and as you're doing that, there are things dripping out of what you were wearing.
I shriek and pull this shit off me. If there's like a basin of water, I go to it and try to get whatever this bullshit is off me.
Yeah. When you get the basin, you'll have that's where your mirror is. There'll be like some water in there that your servants put in there from the night before. And you kind of lean down into the mirror and you can see you can see something underneath your skin. Where I'll move this mic. We'll go on this side. So you got a massive bruise there, and it's cut, and it was bleeding the night before. You can see something slithering underneath your skin along your cheekbone.
Well, I do what anyone would do.
Okay.
I freak the fuck out. It's like that scene in Mummy where you're like, duh! Yeah, I'm not. Right. I have. What is my composure?
I think you said your composure was 3, so it's pretty high. So it's high.
2.
Oh, it's 2.
Composure.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
I'm trying to keep my shit together, but I'm trying to figure out if there's something slithering, I will pull out a knife and
as you
figure out, do I do it or not?
You gulp, and at that point, when you gulp, you're sure there's something in there.
Oh.
And at that point, you try to scream, and something's blocking your throat. And at that point, you wake up.
Yeah, I wake up with a start, cold sweats, etc.
Yep. Yeah.
Sleep. I go from lying down and I do like this like wire move where I'm like onto my feet.
Yep.
Like I use the muscles in my ass cheeks to leap from the bed onto like a gymnast.
Yep.
Right? Stripping off my clothes.
Nothing there.
And looking around, I will run out of my room. Totally
You're naked at this point. Yeah.
My dick is like, right? And I find someone, and I'm like, look at my body!
Okay. Ken, can you roll a d10? If you roll a 1,
My aunt.
if you roll a 1, it's his aunt. Okay, right. You won
It
past
only
2
rolls
people.
10s. Fuck
Yeah.
you, Ken. It was a goddamn 10, you cheater.
Right. You went out. You got because there's like an atrium sort of area. Was that a 1 or a 10?
Bullshit. It's bullshit.
I wasn't
No,
on that.
it was. It's
When you-
bullshit. Ooh,
When
it's
you
a
rush
one.
out,
Uh-huh.
when you rush out, turn left. You look left. You look right, and you see someone. Like a servant. So you head
Yeah,
over towards that servant, and you're
grab
just
her.
about to say, yeah. You grab her. You yell, "Look at my body!" But then at that point, coming out of a door, wondering what the hell's going on, is your aunt, Marina
seeing my
Galina.
Seeing my aunt, especially considering that I'm remembering things about her, it actually does kind of sober me up for a second. But I just had shit crawling in me, so I actually run to her. I'm kind of
Yep.
on my knees looking up at her, and I'm like, "There's crawling things in me,"
Okay.
and I'm all like actually fucking freaked out, looking to her
7.
for answers.
So the 7 that you've just grabbed and said, "Look at my body." You let go of her, kind of push her away. She's not interested anymore. She's one, embarrassed, scared, then confused, and then
Intimidated.
amused.
Come on.
As you then drop to your knees at the doorway at your aunt's
It's
room. Your aunt looks to you, grabs hold of your shoulder. She's not looking down. She's trying to just keep her eyes
hard
above
not
you.
to see.
Yeah, and then pulls you into the room. And says, "What is this nonsense? What is this nonsense?"
I'll pace around a little bit, obviously freaked out, and
She chucks you a sheet.
I put it
Yeah.
around like a toga, and I tell her what I saw sitting down, and I say I don't know if it was a nightmare. I've never experienced this. I did not drink last night. I didn't. Okay, I had a little bit, but not a lot, And I describe exactly what I saw.
She inspects the cut, prods it, and then
Ow.
she. Right. Okay.
Oh, so I was in a bar fight. But it was okay. Maybe. Giro, what's his last name?
Guillermo. Oh,
Guillermo.
sorry, Giolamo.
Giolamo.
No, Giro is his nickname. His full name is. Oh, where is he? Girolamo Tribuno.
I say Tribuno Geronimo pulled a blade on the people's favorite for Doge.
He's not the favorite. He's maybe in the top 4.
Yeah, but he pulled
She says
a blade.
in a flippant remark.
He pulled a blade in the bar. In fact, that new fencing school teacher, I believe, helped subdue Giro.
That might be a mistake you'll regret later on.
Yeah, I didn't actually see it, but I did see him get punched in the face, which I have had enough dealings with Giro to know that the reason he would do that is you somehow did not go along with him. So I am assuming here that somehow Marco was not down with him pulling a blade or whatever mischief he was getting up to. Ah!
Yeah.
And
Right.
City Guard know that what he did and who he attacked.
Okay. She's listening. Have you had this sort of experience before?
No. Well, there was a time right when I had gotten into my sabbatical, when I couldn't drink for a few months, and I had very terrible dreams.
With whatever that's, is it the same?
It's not the same. This is more about, that was more like bugs crawling all over me and me wanting to rip out of my skin. This was, there were worms and leeches crawling within me, and I wanted to rip out of my skin.
Mm.
But there was something different.
Okay.
It's like my body was consumed with worms. I think I'm going to die.
You're fine. You're not going to die. Whatever you thought happened was purely in your mind, a dream. I would dismiss it for now. But if it happens again, let me know. Tell no one else, and I mean this. I'll try and explain your outburst. She names the servant. And hopefully she won't mention this to anyone else.
I can explain it to her as I start.
No, I will speak to her. She'll make sure that she will tell no one after I've told her. Get yourself ready. We have this meeting at the end of the day. And clean yourself up.
I give her a winning smile and I leave and go do so.
No problem. Okay. Miller, how long have I got you for? Yeah, I know
I was
it's
just
quite
thinking
close.
about that. I was like, if we can take like a 10-minute break, then I'll come back, give you guys another hour or so.
Yeah, sure. Okay, right. No problem. 10 minutes, 5 minutes. If people want a break now, that's great. Yeah, that's grand.
All right, cool.
No problem. Ken, are you having? Do you also want a break, or do you want me to run your next day, like as I've done with the other two?
Yeah, no, I'm ready. Let's
Yep,
go
okay.
for it.
Okay. So, you wake up the next day. I'm pretty happy with, I imagine, with the success of last night. No one was injured. At the end, the guy that you'd knocked out for a couple of hours, he eventually woke up. Couldn't quite remember what hit him. So you head home. Fine. You wake up the next day late because you usually work night shifts. So when you get up,
that was just the start of my rounds. I went all night. I probably busted up a couple other bar fights, and
Okay.
we're
Okay,
working doubles, so I probably worked till 8, 9 o'clock in the morning.
No problem. So that's, as you say, that was the kind of the beginning of your shift.
Sure. Yeah.
Towards the end of the shift, maybe about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, one of your cohort, one of your followers, from one of your, you're not quite their superior, but they look up to you within your sestieri, which is your patrolling grounds.
Mm-hmm.
One of them rushes up to you because, bearing in mind that you're based in a different sestieri, so
Yeah,
you
that
went
was-
out of.
Or was I
No, go ahead.
outside of my jurisdiction?
Yeah, you were just ever slightly. So it took you a bit of time to get in. When you start doing your patrols, you're keeping an eye out, that sort of thing. One of your friends within the night watch rushes up to you and says, "Oh, jeez, finally found you. Your uncle wants to see you. It's
My
very
uncle?
urgent." Not your uncle. What's your superior called?
My Vito.
Oh, Vito.
Bean-
Sorry, Vito wants to see you.
Yeah, Vito. Vito
It's,
Vines.
he left some time ago, but he wants you to meet him at the. Where is he? Right. He wants you to meet him at the Scuola Vecchia della Misericordia. It's one of the grand schools of Venice. There's 4. You know this place. This is the school that you've been to with Vito on 2 or 3 occasions.
Okay.
But you've never gone in. You've just walked him there. He's gone inside. You've seen him speak to someone who you recognise as a physician or a scholar or a teacher at that school. You're not sure. You never talk to them. So whenever you've always walked him there, stood outside. When Vito's finished, Vito comes out and you walk him back.
Great.
Okay. So you head to the school, Scuola Vecchia, and waiting outside is Vito.
Mm-hmm.
Says, come on, Dorcas, where have you been?
We had a night, Vito. Nobles, and all kinds of things. What's going on?
Nope. Right, look, let me know after we've done this. This is quite important.
Okay.
He opens the door and beckons you in.
Oh, you're letting me in? Well, I'm coming in. Thanks, man.
Yeah. So, when you go inside, there is a lit corridor. There's a couple of doors. One of the doors is open. Can I have a attention, perception roll? And if you've got surveillance, add surveillance to it.
I have attention. Trying to find out where it is on the page. Is that awareness?
yeah.
Perception?
So attention is a dice pool underneath composure and above memory.
So I keep 4 dice. Die 4.
So hold on.
And
roll
and
4
then-
dice.
And then
You roll 4 dice.
Or I roll 4 die, and then I have a perception of awareness of 2.
No, what's your perception?
Perception of 3.
So you're rolling 4 dice, you're keeping 3 dice,
Okay.
and what rank, how many ranks have you got in surveillance?
1.
1. So roll your 4, keep 3, plus any 10s that you roll.
I did not roll any 10s.
Okay.
And I keep
3.
3.
Yeah.
So that is 14 plus 9 is 16. 14 plus 9 is 23.
23. Add the plus 5 from surveillance.
28.
That gives you... Okay, so outcome of 2, it's competent success. When you're walking into the corridor, you're hit by a myriad of smells. Some is a hint of incense, almost like a chemical burning smell. Other smells of smelling salts, medicinal ointments, that sort of thing. But then on top of that, there is the smell of death. Just the faint whiff of a decaying body. Vito, it guides you into the open door. Inside the open door is effectively it's an autopsy room.
Ooh.
On top of a wooden table, there is a body. There is a figure stood beside the table. The figure is... could you pull up the picture that's called The Legacy of Ronaldo? It's one of the standalone images.
It's the one where they're sitting at the desk. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And it is... Give me 1 second. No, Ronaldo's Legacy is what you're talking about?
Yep, Ronaldo's Legacy. Yeah. Okay. So, ignore the dead man in the chair.
Okay.
The guy on the left, him. He's there. He is inspecting the corpse. As soon as Vito follows you in, Vito coughs, gets this gentleman's attention, and said, Enrico, the man I was telling you about, Dorcas, this is Enrico. I've forgotten his name again. Enrico Rossi, Dorcas of Night's Watch, City Guard. Enrico puts down the scalpel, picks up a cloth, wipes his hands, turns to you, and says, welcome. You're the man who brought me the name, Typolo. The noble family who a member had vanished.
Yeah, I'd be careful with that. It seemed like there was a little bit extra info saying maybe we shouldn't spread that around too much. They didn't want it coming out.
No, I fully understand. I understand. He then looks down at the corpse. He's bloated. There's a strict. Do you have any medicine?
Well,
any ranks in medicine?
I did until we restructured and I lost points and things.
No, you should still have the same number. You should. The skills would have remained exactly the same.
Well, you said you lost 4.
No, I didn't. Well, if you had 1 rank originally, we'll say you've got 1 rank in medicine.
Yeah.
Could you make a memory medicine roll? And if you have it, you can apply a bonus equal to diagnosis. So it's roll your memory dice pool, keep the number of dice equal to medicine, and then add whatever tally bonus you've got with diagnosis.
So that is, what is the memory? Yeah, I don't have high regards in that.
No, that's fine.
So that's, I got a 2 in memory, 2 die.
Yeah, roll your 2 dice.
And that is, I got a 10.
Well,
and then, but it was first aid is what I had the skill in.
Right. Nope, that's fine. Okay. 10, it's partial success. First thing you notice about the body is that it's bloated, which would suggest that it's been in the water. But there's so many other things going on with this body, you find it quite hard to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Do you say anything? Do you vocalize any of your thoughts?
No.
Okay.
Because I kind of know where my place is, which is way down. But you know, I do seem interested. Like that's the way that. So if I'm asked something, I would mention something. I would say
Enrico.
I think he came out of the water, is what I heard.
Enrico smiles and says, "You are exactly right." He then picks up the scalpel and, almost like a teacher, and you're the pupil, he taps the bloated belly of the corpse and says, "This is a man who's clearly been in the water. His corpse has swallowed water, and it's bloated his body. This is mostly air, blah blah blah. However, he didn't drown. He then taps parts of the body, like the face, the arms, legs, and says, strangely enough, before he went in the water, it looks as though all the water from his body was removed. And then I can only presume that once that had killed him, he then fell into the water. The name of this gentleman is he is the type Holo. He's been dead for several weeks. Thanks to the name that you provided, Vito, who Vito passed on to me, I was able to approach the type Holo family and insist that I see this body. And it is most alarming. There has only ever been one incident of bodies found in Venice with all the water removed from their bodies. Have you heard of... Right, does your character have any law?
No, not at all. I mean, I got soul, but I'm not a soldier. I mean, I got law, but I'm not a lawyer.
No problem. It's just going to be completely random. Roll your memory and hope for a 10.
Well, I got a 10.
Wow.
I got a 10 and a 5.
Yep. I wish I had those dice. So.
Yeah, I can show it to you if you like.
No. The number of times I've rolled ones constantly in games. Anyway.
I roll 10s a lot, except when I'm rolling for...
No, it's fine.
There you go.
It's fine. So, he mentions there is an old folklore, something known as the saltwater curse. This happened hundreds of years ago. It was a time of when Venice had started driving wooden piles into the ground, into the silt and the sand, and then they'd started buildings, masonry, huge wooden buildings on top of the small islands that make up Venice, the Rialto Isles.
Yeah,
It is said,
yeah,
it is said as part of the folklore that it angered the local spirits, and the spirits of the lagoon sent in something called the saltwater curse. Now, and that's as far as you know. Spirits sent in something, and that was the saltwater curse. And whatever they sent in killed dozens of people by taking all the water from their bodies and then leaving their bodies on the ground. And unsurprisingly, the terror of finding dead, emaciated bodies inexplicably. They were alive the day before, the night before, and then during the night they were just found either floating on the water or on the ground of Venice. Enrico says to you and Vito, and says, it seems as though the saltwater curse may have returned to Venice, and if that is the case, we must prepare for the worst. I will speak to... You notice that there's a brief moment between Vito and Enrico where there's unspoken words, and as Enrico says, I will speak to those who I know. What I need from you, he turns to you, Darkus, says, I need you to keep an eye out. I need you to see if you can find out anything else, if there's been any other bodies like this. Speak to the same people that you spoke before to, but we need to know if there is any other corpses. I can understand why the Type Holo family wanted to keep this quiet, but it is more vitally important that no one in Venice ever hears about this. The panic will overrun the city, and we may never be able to stop it from happening again if the city is overcome with fear.
I understand people do crazy things when they're afraid. Should I also tell them to stay hydrated? You know, drink lots of water. Do you think that'd help?
Dorcas then looks to Vito, completely bemused, and then looks back to you and says, "No, I think that's fine. No, I wouldn't mention anything about having to drink any more." At that point, Vito kind of rolls his eyes like, "Come on, Dorcas, let's go." Thank you very much, Enrico, for your time.
Is there any place? I mean, they tell you where they found this body. I was just floating in the water. I mean, is there a part of the city that it could be, you know, centered in, maybe? Or is that what you're looking for me to tell you that?
We believe that it was in the San Polo, Cestieri, but it's hard to tell. Once it's in the water, the currents, the various currents, in amongst the canals, drag it in multiple directions, and we don't know how long. We can only presume that it was... Gone?
Yeah, the currents will take things up. Think if it was... didn't have any water in it, I guess it rehydrated somehow.
Natural process of it, just all the oxygen, all the air.
Oh, okay.
Not escaping the body, just swells up, blah, 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 that sort of thing.
Swells
okay.
up, okay.
Okay, right. That wraps up your night, morning. Okay, so Marco and Matteo, you now have the meeting. So, Marco, you're kind of waiting in the courtyard, and sure enough, on time, Enzio Corre turns up. He is impressed to see you waiting for him. He's got like a carriage or like a rickshaw waiting outside. He gestures for you to get in, and then he climbs, heaving his body. He seems to be quite old and not quite as physically fit as he was. He gets in.
My hand.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. He then notes the bruising on your face and says, "What happened?" Actually, I can't remember. Did you actually get hit in the face, or was it all in the chest?
I didn't. Yeah, it was just the chest. When he elbowed backwards, I moved a bit and just.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Then he doesn't mention anything about because he can't see it. He says, "What I need you for here is a power play. You're going to meet perhaps one of the most important people in Venice. One of those people so important that no one knows their name. A lady, and I must stress lady, by the name of Marina Galina. She is very shrewd, and I must say, someone who appears old and feminine in their weakness, but do not underestimate her. I just need you as independent, someone who will see things fresh and may spot anything that I do not spot. Stay quiet, listen. If you are spoken to, obviously respond. But apart from that, I just need you as a silent observer. Is that okay?"
Yeah, I can do that.
It may seem like
I did bring this bottle of wine from my Sicilian friend. I was going to give it to you, but should we save it and give it to her?
I will let you give that to her. Very good idea. Very good idea. I must apologize. It may seem like a menial task, but when it comes to this sort of politics, diplomacy, It is so important to be able to see and to speak, and I can't do both, not with the likes of Marina. The rest of the journey, no doubt.
Be careful. Be careful.
No doubt.
Thicker than a boat of oatmeal.
You talk about arrangements for the
Can talk
fencing
about
club, yada yada yada, that sort of thing. Matteo, your trouble still for the rest of the day. You keep anytime there is like an itch or anything on your skin, your skin crawls, and you have to check the mirror, and it's fine. A couple of hours before the meeting, Marina knocks on your door, says it is time to go.
I go.
She walks. She doesn't need a carriage or a rickshaw or anything like that. She takes a nice scenic route through Venice. But she speaks to you. One, she knows about the bar crawl, the bar fight. She knows that an outsider, a foreigner, had the audacity to confront a fellow noble of Venice.
Mm-hmm.
She's.
I tell her everything.
Yeah, she already knows this. She's appalled. She wants to know if you were in a position to stop Giro's honor from being insulted.
No, absolutely not.
Oh, that is unfortunate. While Giro and his family are rivals to our ambitions, they are still the patricians of Venice. There is nothing more important in Venice than the purest of Venetian blood. It is a shame that an outsider had call to think that he could put one of our kin in his place. But we shall have to see.
To argue at the same time, he did draw steel in a bar fight, and it's a cowardly move.
But if you want to win the fight, and you have a blade, surely you would be best to draw the blade. If you want to win the fight.
Oh, he started the fight. That's true.
Okay. She then explains.
Actually, he doesn't know what he's gonna do.
Yeah. The rest of the journey is pretty much similar to what Marco had been explained to. You don't talk, though she's not as polite as
I never talk.
Enzio.
He just watches you walk away.
Mm-hmm. No, she'll stop in amazement as you say that. Seriously, you do not talk unless you're talking to. Spoken to. But I want you to listen. This gentleman, though I wouldn't call him a gentleman, he is a master politician. He is going to try and persuade me to convince my husband from withdrawing his name from any candidacy as Doge. Now, his candidate is Tommaso Mocenigo. Now, he is one of the favorites. There is now 3 favorites. There is Tommaso Mocenigo, Carlo Zeno, unfortunately, and Federico Tribuno. Now, you've met Federico Tribuno's son. Federico Tribuno is the opposite to his son. And, to be honest, if he did become Doge, he would be a very good Doge. But he's not the Doge that I wish for.
Who's the Doge?
My husband.
Of course.
Michel Steno. Now, unfortunately, my husband is far, far out of the race, if you wish to call it a horse race. But we just simply have to wait and let the favourites take each other out. So, when the meeting takes place, do not talk. Listen. Not to Enzio Core, but watch Mocenigo. Watch Tommaso Mocenigo. He is a fascinating character. He has potential. He would make it possibly a good Doge. But, again, he's not the one I want. Okay, right. You arrive at the palace. You go through the card door. In Venice, you've got St. Mark's Plaza. You've got Basilica San Marco. Yep. Onto one side, and then next to it, there is a grand entrance called the card door. You go in, you have the giant's courtyard, and all wrapped around the courtyard is the ducal palace. You're taking up the giant staircase, and then further up. Miller, you arrive there first, and you're waiting at the top of the giant staircase. And you see, much to your surprise, an elderly lady being kind of escorted, standing beside and slightly behind is Matteo Galina. Matteo, you arrive, and sure enough, at the top of the stairs is the man that Marina was deeply unimpressed with, the outsider who dared put one of Venice's purebloods to shame.
Oh yeah, it's interesting as Matteo, it dawns on him that she was talking about Marco and not Dorcas. As he kind of, there's this.
Yes, so it was obviously something else. Yeah,
Oh.
so something else must have happened that you're not aware of. But yeah, so much was going on.
Oh.
Okay. All the pleasantries go ahead. You're brought into a room, and you do eventually meet the fifth person of the meeting, and that is Tommaso Mocenigo. Okay. Bill, like you, Bill, I'm not going to have a conversation with myself because there's three other people. But the gist of it is okay. I'm just going to read this straight from the book, see if it makes sense. Okay. Both players are witness to two guests jockeying for power. Enzio wants to know where Marina stands with who should be the next Doge, but Marina is giving up nothing. An observant player may notice that Tommaso, the next possible Doge, almost waits on Enzio before making any statement at all. And at the same time, he's clearly gauging the relationship between you, Matteo, and Marina. Okay.
Kind of a weird one, because like I'm sitting there not saying anything. I'm obviously like, I respect her and, you know, I'm behind her and stuff, but I kind of keep on checking her out. Yeah.
Yep. Could I get a from you?
She's bigger than a bowl of oatmeal, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Marco, could I get a attention, perception, surveillance roll, please? What is your overlooked, Matteo? Or how many ranks have you got in overlooked? The expertise underneath stealth. Did you guys hear that?
I only heard part of it.
Right. What's your overlooked, Matteo?
Oh, sorry. I thought you said Marco. My bad.
Yeah, sorry.
My overlooked is 2.
So have you got, how many ranks have you
20.
got in it?
I got 2 ranks, so 20.
Oh, right, okay. So, Miller, if you can make a attention perception roll and add surveillance if you have any.
Okay, yeah, I don't have any surveillance,
Okay.
and it's an 11.
11, okay. You don't notice. You're too focused on Galina. After about the third or fourth time, Matteo, you're conscious of the fact that you're rubbing the cut. At the back of your mind, your whole body is tensing up at the sheer, just anything.
Yeah.
If a breeze brushes your cloth against your skin,
Oh, I get it.
yeah,
Spiders. Like, ooh.
yeah. You're doing your best. At first, you didn't even notice you were doing it, but then eventually you realize that. Oh, you also noticed that perhaps what drew your attention to your tick, so to speak, is Galina is making very subtle gestures to you, and at least one occasion she taps your knee, and whilst Enrico's talking, for the first time in your life, she actually regards you with some sympathy and some compassion and says, "Are you okay?"
I'll turn say.
Right, okay. She then goes back to the conversation. Okay.
I have no. Actually, I don't think I have any guile whatsoever. I've got Staffy too. So, but when it comes to deception, I have none. So I'm fine.
Yeah. When you start scratching your skin, and she kind of taps your hand down. Marco, you do notice that. It seems really strange for, whilst Enzio's talking, Galina kind of gently pats away Matteo's hand from his face. You're not sure what Matteo was doing, but like a mother or like a motherly figure looking after a child, she kind of gently taps Matteo's hand away from his face. And when you see his hand move away from his face, he does have a cut from the night before. Possibly noticed that it's been scratched quite a lot. It's like it looks raw. It shouldn't have been that bad, but the skin around it is quite raw. Marco, you've been scratching it. That's okay.
Marco's come over to my house. Thank you.
Yeah. So the rest of the event then comes to a stalemate. Marina will not step back and put her family and the Stenos family support behind the Mocenigo. And Enzio Corre will not put his family, or it's a slip of the tongue, but he says something along the lines of his family's, and then on another occasion he uses the term stratege. Now, that's a word that none of you as mundanes would know. That's not even Italian, it's just another language, so it doesn't mean anything. Okay? And at that point, after about an hour and a half of talking, since neither side is going to give up, Tommaso stands up and says, well, let us have drinks. We've talked, and we haven't even drank. Would you like some food? Everyone says yes, and at that point, Enzio kind of glances over to you, Marco, when drink is mentioned.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and bring the bottle out.
Okay.
If you'll permit me, I did bring a bottle of wine from my trading ventures in Sicily.
What's your estate? How expensive could this bottle be?
My estate is 3, and then
wow.
my ally Enrique Bazil, that's what his family does.
Right. Okay. Marina knows. Do you have empathy? Do you have any ranks in empathy?
No, just the one standard one.
Okay.
And then I put one in reflection.
Yeah. Okay. You get the gist that throughout this meeting, I mean, you've been there silent, watching for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and whenever she looks at you, she looks down her nose at you. Matteo, you noticed that, but that kind of fits in with the racist comments that she was making beforehand.
Yeah.
When Marco hands over the bottle, she's expecting something cheap, but when she looks at it, she's quite impressed. But she's even more impressed once it's opened and the drinks are poured. She loves it. She asks you again for the vineyard where this is from, and she has, for the first time, she has a nice conversation with you, and between the 5 years, that bottle is finished in about 10-20 minutes.
Jesus.
And then the next bottle's open, and by the third hour, there is hints of certain events that happened the night before. No details are expressed, but it's all, the conversation's filled with innuendo, and it's quite clear that Jiro was shown up not once but twice, and like an old fable or parable, so to speak. He was shown up by an outsider and a peasant, and she's slightly tipsy, and she's quite impressed with both the peasant and the foreigner. Okay.
Can I slip a little bit in there, like in that conversation as it moves? I want to make it clear. I don't want to like address it directly, but like I said, dance around it. That it was a shame to see Jiro shame his family in public like that by drawing a blade.
Okay.
In a bar fight.
I take the opportunity as Marco says that, is I salute, showing kind of like the fencers. It's not what you do. He doesn't say anything because he sees his aunt, and he doesn't want to like contradict her at all because he knows how she feels. But it's.
I think you noticed that when Marina's talking about the event, she gives no specifics. It's all innuendo, but everyone knows who she's talking about. She doesn't mention any names. And as Marco says what he says and names Jiro, dishonoring his family names, which he did, you notice that there is a possible faux pas in that. But could you make a interaction influence charm, please?
Yep. 10. It's a 38.
Wow. Okay. Marco, you're expecting a slight rebuff from Marina and even Enzio, but the honesty and the charisma that Marco puts behind the words, clearly not trying to insult the establishment, he's kind of wanting to promote the establishment by pointing out the flaws of an individual, means that Marina smiles and she nods. You are right. Even for an outsider, perhaps having eyes from the outside allows you the benefit of seeing something that we inside the forest cannot. Okay. Everyone, once people stop talking about politics, everyone starts drinking, eating, just general chit chat. People are interested in the fashions of flora restaurants and all that, blah blah blah. Everyone has a good time, and it leads into another late night for you two. The next day, there are two events, so I'll try and get these done in. I'm conscious of the time, and I'm sorry it's taking so long.
Fine, you're fine.
Okay.
I got permission to go ahead. So.
Okay, no problem. So the next day, Marco, you head back home the next day. Again, breakfast's made for you. Your uncle is fascinated with what's said, and do you tell him everything, or are there certain things that you hold back, or?
That depends. Can I trust him to keep it quiet?
Yeah. Okay. If it's for the benefit of the family name and the bank, then yeah, he'll keep it to the grave.
Yeah, then definitely I'll tell him, keep it quiet, and I will spill all of the beans all over.
Right. Okay. He's really pleased. He says, I think finally, I think we might be able. You've got your foot in the door. I think we can actually get ourselves established. If we can get a license to bank here, it'll be the turning point. It'll be the turning point for the Demizi in Venice, and he's just so happy. You head out. No doubt pleased. As you're walking around, you notice that there is a figure following you. This guy doesn't really make much attempt not to be seen. And he follows you for about 10-15 minutes, and he doesn't look as though he's going to get any further or any closer. What do you do, Marco?
Yeah, so at some point when I walk into like a little plaza or whatever, I'll turn and look at him and get him a good look up and down.
Okay, can I get a memory, perception, recall? Right, okay. He's dressed like a sailor. I like kind of the baggy clothes that they have. He has like a sash. You're sure you've seen him before, but you're not sure. But he's obviously a sailor of some kind. As you do that, like when you stop, he stops, turns around. So you know for a fact that as soon as you look at him, because you're like kind of off to one side, looking past the corner, he looks away, which means he can't see you. What do you do? And you can see him slowly turning back round to see where you were.
All right, so I'm going to I'll go ahead and continue on what I was walking after, probably looking at properties. Find a little alleyway or alcove or whatever and head down there, and then turn around and wait for him to show up.
Okay. He stops at the entrance of the alleyway, sees you looking at him. You can see him relax, kind of looks to the left where he was going, looks back to where he came from, smiles, and then walks up towards you. He is the guy that you saved from last night. You can still, he's got like a cloth wrapped around his neck. He says to you, it's Demizi, isn't it?
It is. And And your name?
He pulls down the cloth to reveal like a thin red line along his throat. He says, let's just say that's my name. I have to thank you for what you did last night, but puts the cloth back up. I'll be blunt. I'll come up with it. Carlo Zeno intends to, and then he strokes his thumb across his neck. Tommaso, in 3 nights' time, I think it could be 2 nights' time, he's losing his wits as much as this vote. These damn self-righteous, noble dicks. If they just give the people what they want, the Republic would be strong. No one would defeat us. And then he looks you up and down, clearly dressed as a noble. I guess, you know what I mean. Not all nobles are like you. I need to speak to someone. And I think you showed your worth last night, and I am putting a gamble on you, but Carlo's got to be stopped. You can't kill another noble. Just like last night. You don't touch the nobles. Now, I would go to the night watch, but there's no one in there that I know that I can trust. So if I give you the word, you can pass it on, and they'll never know I'm involved.
I can.
Or you can put a good word in for me and get them to promise that they're not going to jail me the moment they talk to me.
Sure, I could probably arrange that. Or if they do, then I can get you right out. It may be necessary to save face to arrest you in public if it's done as a group.
Oh no,
I'll ensure you
none of this is public. No one can know that I'm talking to you. No one can know that I'm talking to anyone. Carlo will string me up.
Absolutely not.
Right. Okay.
What was your name?
He purses his lips. Do you want to try and...
Well, it's going to be hard for me to put in a good word for him if I don't know his name. If I don't know your name.
Amerigo. I'm one of the... I serve under Carlo Zeno on the Bureau d'Amar. Right, we'll leave that bit there. Matteo. You're up the next day, out and about. Outside of being a priest, now that you don't actually have a job as a priest, you don't actually have a job. You have nothing to do. No, most nobles all have jobs.
I don't have a job.
Yes, I think you would have had a job before the duel and then got shipped off. Like,
You go straight to hell. I don't have a job.
Well, unlike you, every other minor noble heads out. They'll have a job within, say, some part of government.
He'll go to the coffee shop, the coffee house, and work on his laptop for a little while, dick around on Kent's website. He'll do his thing, right? Yeah. No, he will though. He'll. What about year is this?
It's 1400s. Well, it's
1400.
Yeah, 1400.
So I don't know if they really have coffee houses. I think that's more of a later thing. But
it would just be mostly wine or things like that.
Yeah, there's definitely places. I mean, I'm sure that there's places where the aristocracy, if you will go sit there, sip on whatever drink is fancy, and talk about philosophy.
Yeah,
and that's what he does. He's a socialite.
Right. You sit down. Yeah, we'll just say it's on one of the plazas within Venice, because there's plenty of them. You sit, order a few drinks, you get talking to one or two people. They're there for half an hour, then they move on. They're interested in what you say, they're interesting, and then they have to go back to their mundane, uninteresting jobs, and you're left behind. At some point, a figure waits for the cafe, if you can call it a cafe, area to be vacant except for you. And then the figure, as it approaches, you recognize from the night before. It is Tommaso Mocenigo. He's dressed as a peasant, like hooded, that sort of thing. He clearly doesn't want to be recognized, and he does a pretty good job. So that when you see this figure approaching you, at first you think that he's just walking past and it's just a coincidence. But as he approaches you, he stops and says, Matteo Galina?
I've got my sword. I have it'll be like an inn or a tavern of some sort. I'll have the wine. I'm out on like little patio watching everyone walk around. I've got my foot up on like a barrel. As
you're a tourist.
Yeah. As he looks up, I get the wide brimmed hat just because I can. As he pops it up, takes a sip of wine, swirls it. Who wants to know?
Pulls his hood back, and you recognize it to be Tommaso Mocenigo.
No, I'm kidding. It would be kind of cool.
Story's finished. He's just killed off.
The only one! Yeah. I... Have a seat. May I have...
No.
No.
Shh. I've only came here. You seem to be in good favor with Marina Galina.
That's a first.
Well, takes out from his tunic a letter, wax sealed, folded, like that. Hands it to you, and says, "Can you please make sure that this letter gets to her?"
I start to open it.
It's wax sealed. As soon as he hands it over, it says, "You will pass this on to her." He hasn't let go of it. He's asking you. Yeah, he hasn't let go of it. It says, "You promise that you will make sure she gets this. It is vitally important."
Of course, I'll give this to her. Can I read it first? As I start to open it, I'm not actually going to open it, but as I want to see what his reaction is.
He tugs back at it if you start messing on with the. Okay.
Fine. Have your secrets.
Okay.
Yes, I will pass it to her.
He nods, pulls his hood up, and then heads off. Right. You are now all by yourself, and I have to ask you the question, because I even put the question in the book. Do you open the letter? Not now, but at some point. Do you open the letter before you give it to her, and when?
So, question one, for my ignorance. I have heard his name before. Who is he again?
He is a prominent noble. He has served in Venice for decades.
What's his name again?
Tommaso Mocenigo.
Mocenigo. So Mocenigo's the dude that I was watching, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So he was the dude. He was at the meeting.
Yeah, he was at that meeting, and he said very little. Even though he is, everyone in Venice knows his face, knows his name, knows his deeds, knows all of his achievements. Yet he played second fiddle to this Enzio Core, who you've never heard of before.
No, I don't open it. My aunt has given me a second chance, so I'm not going to open it.
Okay.
But actually, can I make a roll of some sort of an insight type of thing?
What for? What was it you hoped to figure out?
What I'm looking at is, for Mocenigo, did it seem like he was, obviously he's plotting and planning, this is clandestine as fuck, but was there something nefarious underneath the surface?
Make an attention, empathy, and then either emotions, intentions, or weakness. Whatever it is you want to look for in particular.
Okay. Attention is 4 dice. That's attention is 4 dice. And then what was the other one?
Empathy.
Empathy, right. Empathy I've got 3 ranks in.
Okay, so you keep 3 dice.
Right. And so I want to do the thing where, one, I want to use honor for my family.
Yeah.
So I'm rolling 8 dice. And so I'll drop the point.
Yep.
And 2, and that's just what I can do, right?
Yeah. It's so long as, so in my head then, I'm allowing you to use honor because you're not opening the letter.
Right. Okay, cool.
Good.
Yeah. Let's see really quick. And so that means I'll have 6 points instead of, or I'm sorry, that's ranks. Sorry, because your pool is so I'd actually have 2 left because I'd done it before. Now, just so you know, if I get a whiff that there's something like a plot against my aunt,
that changes everything.
That changes something. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to roll the 8. Is there anything I can do? Is there a way to get to capture more, or is that it? I thought there was a way you could increase the number of dice you keep.
Yes, there is.
Okay, I remember the something for the spirit, but I forget what it is.
So, if you can spend a society point to retain extra dice based on the background that you're going with. So backing would be if your
I've got
backing's relevant.
So backing. I have an organization which is church. I have heard
Not relevant.
a lot of. Okay.
No, not relevant.
A lot of people lie in church. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, no. All right. Okay. I'll let you spend a background point, society point, to retain number of dice equal to the rank that you've got in your backing. Because that's a good point. Confession.
Backing. Okay, so it's 1. Okay. Cool.
Okay. Retain
so
1
I
extra
can
dice.
keep it extra. Okay.
Yeah. So you roll an 8, keeping 4, and then do you have any expertise under empathy?
No.
well.
I've got intention. So,
Okay.
No.
What you got?
Okay.
Right. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've got intention and reflection. That's all I got. Okay, so I'm going to keep 4.
You can add. How many ranks have you got in intention?
1.
Okay, add +5 because you're trying to gauge the intention behind all of this, and in what Tomaso was exhibiting during the meeting.
Right.
So this is well bolstered. It's incredibly bolstered roll.
It's a proper half Ken roll. That's pretty.
Well, only 2 10s.
No, only 2 10s. All right, so I've lost my dice. I don't know where they are. I have only 2 dice. So what about that? So that's what's that? 19. That 6. That's the 3rd one, and then I have 1 more roll. Oh, you son of a slut! Drop that down 5. So 16 plus 15, so 31 plus, so 36.
36. Okay. Take 10 off. So that's 20. That's competence. It's competence success. Based on his intention, explain to me exactly what you're looking for.
Well, I don't believe in. Actually, I do kind of believe in magic and superstition because I'm kind of in alchemy and all that crap. I've heard tale of, I'm a learned person. I've read Medea. I know that there can be anthrax in the poison in the letter, or something that is perhaps the letter is something like that has blackmail involved, or if I have this letter and it has, for lack of a better word, city-state secrets, and I am tied to my aunt, like something nefarious, like am I delivering a bomb, a proverbial bomb, figurative? Am I a patsy in this moment? I'm getting that level.
Nope. In fact, you get the impression it's the opposite. This is earnest.
Is anyone following?
Based on what you saw last night, and especially that role and what you've just highlighted, it seems like the opposite. You get the impression that when he handed that over, he wasn't eager for you to be a patsy. He's eager for you to. His emphasis was making sure that letter gets to her, and her only. For his safety.
And I will not run by any stretch, because I don't run unless I'm being chased. But I make myself back. Wow.
Yep.
I get back to my home and give the letter to my aunt. Post it.
Yep. Nope, that's brilliant. Okay. I'm going to leave it there. Hope you've enjoyed session 2 of the Legends of Venice. Next week, it'll go back to normal, so we'll have clearly have 3 hours plus whatever time we can wrangle out of Miller and everyone. So, I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you next week.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying this. Thank you for putting it together.
No, I'm really glad you're enjoying it. It's turning out so differently from what's in the book, which is fantastic. Yeah. So that's really good, really good.
Well, isn't that like the goal of like role playing and kind of, sandboxy stuff and different things that we do.
Yeah, if anything, the aim of this type of roleplay is it's an open world. You have a story. If the players go off in a completely different direction, you follow the characters. But wherever there's a character, there's a story. And in this case, there's 2 stories. And one of them's planned, one isn't. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm really glad you guys are as well.
Well, this has been the NDRPG live play of the Linen Tapestry, featuring Ken, Bill, Miller, and John, the creator. If we had a Patreon member or 2, I would have to pay less for some of the stuff but hey, I hope you enjoyed this. You're
like
welcome.
And subscribe.
All lowercase letters. Mr. Interrupt did some music. Couchfire Media did some production. Twari Replay Productions gave up 2 years ago.
They did. They're done. They are done.
So that's where we're at. This is a really fun game that gets us immersed into Venice and all the different things relating to 1400.
I'm gonna start learning Italian real quick.
Yeah, I mean, if I had an accent that is even respectable.
Arrivederci.
Yeah. Hey, it's me, Mario. That's where I'm at. See you next week or Thursday if we do a hot takes on this channel.
Yeah, baby.